follow-up on Cyclone, but also counter-engage. It gives windows for the Galio to be able to operate in. And so in the end, Bloxer, it is just Galio.
Yeah, there's not really anything you can do to contest right here. Actually, I'm just going to head topside. Flandre turns around, is actually just going to be able to walk this one out. Not going to be too much of a worry for him right there. I was worried as well, though. That looked like it was going to be a little bit closer than it was.
I mean, unfortunately for IYY, he has no CC pre-6, and neither does Gwen.
About Cloud Drakes as not being that exciting. With all of the phase rosters available, with yourself already being hypermobile, you'd like this one. Sheer.
Tarzan doesn't find the wall slam onto Sheer. Flandre's taking up the first turret damage. They dodge it for now. That's a lot on that charged up shot. Flandre gets the scrap shield, but Care can look to collapse. Maybe a flash over the wall if he wants to use it. Control ward. He knows that Flandre's there, and Care says, surprise, baby! That's first blood for FPX, but Tarzan does pick up Sheer in the end.
Going to be a once available to him if he wants to come and join up towards these fights. Everybody wandering on over, though. This could turn into quite the skirmish.
Flandre trying to just diminish Care's health pool and make sure that he cannot join the fight, as now Tarzan gets aggressive on IYY. His flash was still not available. It is just coming back up. Hero's entrance from Care arrives just to see IYY's corpse fall, but Jachi gets the answer back onto Tarzan, but Care falls next. Feat of Warfare secure for Anyone's Legend, and now Sheer is overextended and surrounded. That's Anyone's Legend now up 4K as your only late game insurance.
Yep. First items now coming through means that they are getting well towards that spike. You really want the second item onto Hope and Shanks, and Flandre has big damage coming through again. Shanks, every single time Care steps up to him, is just going to be popping that ulti. Now doesn't have it as IYY jumps him, but seems perfectly comfortable in the 2v1. I don't know, I guess that the Tiv is going to make things a little more even, and Jway, oh boy.
Flash from Tarzan over the wall looking for Jway's. Nico already used the flash and the heal. Pop Blossom is the last tool he can use to try and get out of this pickle, but Kael was looking to go for the crash down. Unfortunately, he already used both of his in advantage for the Pandas. It's a 13-minute Dragon Bloxer, so at the very least, we are getting a... trying to do quick math in my head. 28-minute soul if you're doing every... spot right now. Everyone is hitting their first item spikes across the rift, and anytime you look at a Trinity Force composition, I always favor them going into these team fights.
They're going to feel very good about the fact that you've now got that big item spike. IYY, though, getting a bit aggressive here. Jumped.
He wanted the Krugs. Can he get out now? Popping both casts of that Cyclone and forced to flash away. Tier 1 so that he can be at least in range for the follow-up. FPX have to brute force their way in.
It's got to be low, though.
Rift Herald, 5k HP. Care's the first one to walk in. Shanks is also TP'd and arrived to the river. Kael and Hope already just holding the lines. Oh, 3-man Magnustorm into the Tibber stun. Jway with the counter engage on the Pop Blossom at least breaks open the fight, but no one else from FPX can get in. Tarzan already secured the Rift Herald, and they're going to take out Sheer with them too. Care gets dropped, and Anyone's Legend get to pick up the eye as well.
2 kills and the Rift Herald secured right here for AL, and the fighting is just better from them. It's only a big Pop Blossom out of Jway that forces members back, that stops that from being a complete and utter disaster. Doesn't even look like AL are done, though. They're now going to go chasing into their opposition's jungle. They are not allowing any FPX advantages.
And just slowly balloon them to the point where the enemy team feels pressured to do something, because otherwise they're just going to get bled out. What happens? They go into the river.
Everybody else is kind of fighting for scraps. This is a pretty consistent 1k to 2k gold advantage across the board right here for these AL members. And this leaves FPX scrambling to get together anywhere near enough gold. They've only just been able to put together the gold for these first items. And second item...
FunPlus Phoenix every single time. And that was the one window where gold range was still kind of in striking. IYY is going to send this fight. It's a little precarious here. IYY already down to nearly 50% HP. Magnustorm was used by Kael. Cyclone also used. Sun on the Care. Tarzan, great wall slam. Jway with the Pop Blossom into the backline, but can anyone follow up? Not really. And Tarzan says, see why at, with the Keeper's Verdict.
Oh,
and
no!
TP from
No!
Sheer! All of his friends got punted away, and that meant that Sheer was just teleporting in. Feels like it's just going to be a free one for Anyone's Legend to take. And you almost think that if FPX don't fight it at this Otacon, there's never gonna... They are so far ahead of the curve now, and it just seems like Anyone's Legend are just a couple of good fights away from being able to close out this game. Tarzan with a good wall slam right on top of the carries. The equalizer from beyond wherever Flandra was, and Anyone's Legend already find their first pick onto Chovy in the fight. Jachi forced to flash away. Shank's gonna follow up through, sends another disintegrate, and is he looking for IYY next? Tibbers is gonna burn him to a crisp. Anyone's Legend just rolling over FPX this game one.
Tarzan is an absolute sniper with that heroic charge, constantly finding the thinnest of walls members off, and they're going to take their prize. Atakan now into inventory as well, up by what is that? Shanks is just free hitting his way through. The burn coming through, absolutely miserable to try to play into as well. And AL, they didn't even going to force Care to use the ulti away. What was it we were saying earlier, Rafa, about defensive use of offensive tools, right? Pop Blossom defensively. Not even that ulti from the Galio defensively to save someone. Defensively to save yourself. It's so rough.
It's not a counter-engage tool. It's an escape tool. And that's when things are really, really cooked for the FunPlus Phoenix squad. Trying to defend this tier 2 turn on the bottom side of the map. Hammer at the windup. Oh, doesn't hit anyone. So, okay. Anyone's Legend are down an ultimate tool. But I don't think the Pandas care. They're still going to step towards the Phoenixes.
And they are just pushing forwards right now. There's nothing else on the map for them to really enough power at this point to keep complete control over both of these objectives.
Another tier 2 turret.
It does look like AL are going to head up towards this Baron and just leave this Drake up and available. They don't care if you take this as FPX. FPX, though, they want to at least try for the Baron. They at least walk away from the Drake. They're not going to be able to contest onto this Baron whatsoever. Stepping up would certainly lead to their doom. They do get this Drake, though. That is something. They stop this Drake stacking. It's not going to be a 4 Drake soul for AL.
Completely fine with that trade, because they won't even need the soul to finish the game at this rate. Anyone's Legend, if they find a good fight here in
Baron Empowered Cannon is going to be very tricky to actually deal with right here. Jackie trying his best, but there's going to be 2 of them chunking out this tower. IYY goes in.
IYY, he's all by himself onto the back line. He's just not doing enough damage to Hope. Here comes the hero's entrance from Care, but it just seems a little desynchronized and too late. They find 1 kill on the Kyle thanks to Joy's Blossom.
Shanks!
Tarzan blows him up, and look at Hope and Shanks working hand in hand just to completely dismantle and clip the wings of FunPlus Phoenix.
Jackie just about going to be able to get himself away, potentially. Shanks thinking about it, but you don't really need to go for this. This is going to be the end for AL. They're going to take this game in under 30 minutes time, and it's been complete and utter domination from the defending champs from the very beginning to the very end.
Swift and decisive from the Pandas, and it's just like we wrote it up here, Bloxer. Game 1 wrapped up for Anyone's Legend.